Mr. Toth, Mr. Stelzider, Mr. Uzelak, Attorney Costello.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Motion carries. We have an agenda and let's look at the minutes. Does anyone have a chance to read the minutes?
Yes. Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to old business. You see none listed. New business, we have a potential parcel swap. Yes.
We need approval to go forward with two appraisers. We have to have our property appraised. And actually Craig could describe the properties, but it's going to require us to have two appraisers appraise our property. And I would suggest that as part of the package that the other person pay the same two appraisers to appraise his property. Then we have to go forward on a bidding procedure and we'll take publication of notices that I'm gonna have to be kind of creative on. So that we can go ahead and get this swap effectuated. Because you have to treat it under that statute, you have to treat it like a disposal of property. So we have to go forward with bidding, public notice and a public hearing, which we during the meeting. But first step is going to be to get the two appraisers to appraise our property. And pay for our,
So Luke, I'm understanding that your motion is to move forward on the swap of the parcels and the land on the approval of both parties have named appraisers.
that we appoint two appraisers and those appraisers. We'll pay for ours, he pays for his end of it, we pay for our end of it.
Already ordered a plat survey, Kroll, Evan Kroll out of Holbert's gonna, they're working on the plat survey and the legal description for both parcels, so it'll be laid out real easily for whoever appraises.
Well, that was my motion before. Did you make a motion?
Yeah, that was my motion.
I'm sorry.
You want me to? Okay, I'm making a motion to go ahead and to move forward on the land swap of the parcels that we discussed in the workshop meeting, and also on the behalf of both parties having the same appraisers and each party paying for their own appraisers.
Do I hear a second, Jim?
Yes.
Does that answer your?
Yeah.
Do you understand that now?
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Then it's going to acceptance of claims. We have a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second?
Want a bigger type on? No, second. I just definitely.
Any discussion or questions about the claims?
What is Indiana Correctional Industrial?
I mean,
I like that.
that is actually where we have switched to getting our finders printed from, and that is the prison.
Oh.
And,
Which is like half of anything we get locally.
Pendleton, is that
I think it is, yeah.
So yeah, we went out and, we shopped around, and that was where it was printed last year, and we continue printing it this year. You want me to go?
Yeah, grab some.
Okay, yeah.
They're underneath the counter. They do a really nice job. I mean, it's.
We used to buy shelters for free.
And toilets.
And toilets.
The old pit toilets and the old shelters were all came from the
You
prison.
get desks.
They got quite a little business here.
Like,
We all-
like chins.
We always have this one NIPSCO bill that's over 20,000. You guys know, is that the water park?
The water park.
Thank you.
Part of the problem, I mean, this before the water park, is our rate there is high because of the peak volume in the summer. So NIPSCO has a rate for people who's based on the peak. So our peak is high because they're basically capitalizing for that peak. And no matter what we do, I don't care what we do. If we just get this really awful.
Can't really change it.
No, when you're starting in a course of less than an hour, you know, a huge park full of 50, 40, 25 horsepower electric motors.
Well, even then, if the peak was flat across the year, we'd be better, but.
Yeah, but it isn't.
I assume that, I just see it every month.
No, it's good to get it. I appreciate it.
Well, and understand too, what you're seeing is really, that bill is a month late, right? So that's
That was
ice
ice.
skating and winter and.
And the ice is energy.
Yeah, the ice skating plant is two of the bigger, the
Those
bigger
are
motors
100
than anything.
those are
else.
100 horse.
Yeah, 200 horse.
Those are two 100 horsepower motors.
That's a
Thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor of approving the claims, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Carried. And that brings us to reports. I don't believe we have, is the policy personnel committee met?
Yes, we have a,
No,
That was,
no, you're the other one.
I'm pretty sure it's the one I'm on, and I didn't go to a meeting, so I'm making sure. Then let's talk about the other one, goals and objectives, land acquisition.
yes, we met today before this meeting. We discussed issues on a 2026 bond issue, specifically financing and projects related to, as well as discussion of land acquisition and a parcel swap.
Thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Before we move on from committees, can I talk to David about this and Lou a little bit? Instead of having committee meetings beforehand, we may change them to a general work study or workshop, whichever language works better. And, because it ends up being that way anyway. You know, and a lot of county boards and that, they have that work study workshop ahead of time as opposed to dividing it up into committees. And you just won't be able, a committee could vote to approve something, but that wouldn't be in a work study or workshop. You would just, you know,
We'd just be listening.
you'd be listening and discussing.
Yes.
And technically, you leave it open to the public, that way you don't have to advertise it as an executive session.
Right, well, an executive session should really be, I mean, from what I understand, land and personnel, which are
And litigation.
litigation, because those are private, so to speak. You don't want to go out there and tell everybody, you know, hey, we're gonna go buy this, and then, so, yeah, that's totally different.
Yeah.
So I think the next time we'll start meeting that way, and it'll make it simpler. So we just have to maybe figure out how I don't know if we'll have to report. I gotta do some thinking, an investigation. That could be a separate minutes for that session.
Well, on a workshop, you really don't have to hold minutes. And on committee meetings, you don't, you just.
Well,
discuss.
we shouldn't have to report it in the regular board minutes either.
No, but you can, whoever's the chairman of that committee, if you call it a committee meeting, whoever the chairman is, would just make a report at a board meeting stating, you know, hey, we had a budget and finance committee, we discussed to move along with the bond issue that the park department is looking to float stuff like that, and then just move on.
Well, can we just say it was a policy personnel workshop? And then everybody shows up and you could make the report within the minutes?
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, you just don't want to get into excluding people from it. and-
yeah, I tried to
Now- now
keep
you
it, so
got
we're
a
following
problem.
all the stuff.
And people just don't show up anyway. You don't have reporters like you did at one time, you know.
But we are,
And you don't need a quorum,
Oh, that's true.
and you don't need a quorum.
okay.
Division report.
Okay, I'll start it off. Quick update, our controlled burn season has begun again. We have done some burns, in late fall, early winter, but then snow hit and snow covered. So recently, just in the last, few weeks, we've burned at Oak Ridge Prairie, also Gibson Woods. Our staff assisted, Indiana Department of Natural Resources and also the Nature Conservancy, specifically at Hoosier Prairie. They burned that, and Highland Cherville, portions of it, and then also, the DuPont Nature Preserve north of the Indiana Toll Road in East Chicago and Gary. So that was burned. So yeah, they've done some, probably about 150 acres just in the last few weeks total between all those. So went really well. And we'll be doing more this month before it gets too warm to begin or things start heating up. So yeah, hopefully everything works out, wind direction, or precipitation and everything. So and then also with DNR, Lake County Parks Department, we had mentioned and got approval to go ahead and accept the interest in the Cedar Lake Marsh property, the west half of it. So we just went ahead and transferred interest, half interest on the 300 acres on the west side of the marsh from the Lake Heritage Park Foundation to the Lake County Park Board. So that took place, and so that's official now. We had some meetings with the state recently, and so state of Indiana, specifically Indiana Department of Natural Resources, Division of Fish and Wildlife, will be beginning putting signage up, preparing parking lots, doing work on the road that goes around the west side of the marsh so people can walk and access for hunting areas. So that will begin. They'll also be putting signs up along the site, around the site to distinguish between public and private property. So that'll happen as well. So you'll be hearing more updates as we move along, but that work will begin in the next week or two. So, right. So that's all I got for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I will go next. Over at Buckley, a couple upcoming program updates for everyone. I said at the last meeting, but just a reminder, Meet the Babies is coming up March 28th and 29th from 11 to 3. We did implement this year a small $3 fee for this because honestly, that event was getting so large for us that the resources were becoming more and more. It was initially started with just volunteer staff, and it was 200, 300, 400 people. And last year, it grew to a couple thousand, and that was a lot to take in. But that money will help go toward the animal care, which is definitely top priority for staff there. Five Flopsy also, that will take place Saturday, April 11th. Those tickets are available. That is a special ticket event with specific time slots where guests will kind of website find the Flopsy, and it's all. Bellaboos last month, they hosted a Galentine's Swifties bingo night. It was on Friday the 13th. It was after hours, so it wasn't during the day. It was kind of sold to girls, whatever. They could bring their kids if they want to. Pretty successful overall. Staff now is kind of looking at how to make the program even better this year. Probably would stick with the Swiftie theme. I think that's kind of died down. But either keeping it there, moving around, but it was a nice little event to have. Currently, the staff there, they're preparing for spring break. Those 2 weeks at the end of March into that first week of April is typically some of their busiest general admission dates. They're sticking with their Cirque to Spring Break theme this year, doing some juggling, big top. And then after that, they will go right into Eggs Spot, which is their pirate theme Easter egg that will take place Good Friday. At the last board meeting, I also mentioned Lemon Lake. The that they were having a s'mores and a s'mores hike at night on Valentine's Day, and they lucked out with amazing weather. I think it was about 55 degrees that night. And they had 71 people show up for that. I think the weather had a lot to do with it, but it definitely grew over the previous year. Lastly, over at Deep River, the Big Maple Comfort Station, the last 2 weeks, we've made some progress. The well has been drilled, finally, after lots of setbacks because of weather. They got everything run to the building, so the hookup was complete to the building. Electrician got in, hooked up all the wiring from the well VFD to the electrical panel. Our guys came in, finished up the plumbing into the building. So our next step, I've already made calls to Sheedy. They have to come out, fire up the well pump now that the system's running as it should. We have to pass 2 total coliform tests from the Indiana Department of Health, a nitrate, a fluoride, and then a post-construction inspection. And then we'll maybe be there.
That's so bad.
That's it. That's all. That's all. But it was nice. It's like just
Days later.
that's my be accurate. I also
August.
I'm hopeful the next 30 days, but we'll see.
And you have a class reunion, you kind of think of the Maple and what was, is the bathroom gonna be done by then?
It's like that, your daughter's open.
And I promised it would be.
Yeah.
Wow, I was gutsy. That was,
Great, Jim. Thank you.
that's a good move on your part.
Deep River, I mentioned at the last meeting, they were hosting a Maple and Mingle event as well. It was Friday the 27th, I believe, and the weather was amazing for that event as well. I don't know how we keep this weather going for some of these events.
People got there on the line.
I know that's what Jim said. The winter event had the perfect amount of snow, a full moon. Now this one, it was like 60 degrees outside. Just everything about the night was really, really nice. The park and program staff, they already have ideas for next year. And to be honest, we've already started talking about brewing some and supplying them with some of the maple syrup that we produce and doing a maple beer that maybe next year we hopefully sell. About this, everything comes up. They did a sample run, tasted it was pretty good. So,
But only you got a taste.
well, you guys didn't get it, did you?
No, we
No.
we never
it was,
do.
It was brought to me. I couldn't.
Not that we complain, but these kind of things are what we get left out of. Mhm.
The first weekend of maple syrup was great. It was this past weekend. Well, it was awesome. Parking lot was full. I think every single day, from 2 to 4, Saturday and Sunday. Stop crowds. And beyond that, field trips, we've only had 1 cancellation. It was yesterday because the weather just didn't work out for them. We tried to book them in the next week, but they just couldn't make it work. But I've got to say thanks to the staff there because they put a lot of time and effort in for these programs. And I actually checked in with the staff after their first week of field trips. And said, hey, just checking in on you guys, making sure everything's good. And their response was, we're having the time of our lives over here. And they were being serious about it.
Oh, yeah.
So it means a lot. I think we talked about it. You can't really, you can teach skill to anyone, but you can't teach the attitudes. And the group of people over there, the North Side, Deep River staff, and the rest of the programming staff that makes this happen. They do have the attitude to bring this program together and what programs they do. And then the last thing I did include in the board packets, because we do a lot of programs and events. So I did include just a snapshot of what we get and what they put together. These are their actual final budgets, but they will do a proposed budget as well and submit that with potential numbers that they're hoping to get minimums. But this was their actual. Some of these things there are, a little bit difficult. I was talking with Kara, I just don't know how to store merchandise. We sold this much, I could put it. But things are going to vary with your cost of goods. But I think for the most part, it's pretty accurate. And just goes to there's not going to be fine, so that we can look back and say what went well, we spent too much. Did we spend too little? We need to rethink this program, and people just didn't come out and take everything into consideration. Cool.
All right, I'll go ahead and go. Over at the golf courses, staff has been really busy taking advantage of the nice weather, starting to work on the turf and condition the turf for the upcoming golf season. Turkey Creek was actually able to be open some of these nicer days and had some people come out, which has been really great. Cedar Creek was trying to get there with a driving range, and the rains obviously set them back and flooded them out. So it'll be a little bit before they're able to get going there. But they've also been out taking care of the turf as well, getting the course ready. I know that they're getting golf carts ready with the captain and all of that. Chris was talking about when he did the mechanics. Over at the water park, staff's starting to really hit hard into hiring. They've already completed their first lifeguarding course of the year. The second one actually just started yesterday. And those will keep going all the way until we open and even into June. They've been busy working on planning swim lessons. It's something the water park has kind of taken a step back from the last couple of years. We're kind of getting back into it this year with having swim lessons available to the public. So we'll be having information on the website about how to register for those. Those will be in early June this year. Other than that, just out of the park, getting things ready to go over to the water park, cleaning up the rivers, doing any plumbing repairs that need to get done from things that had broke at the end of last season or over the winter from freezing and just shifting and all that kind of fun stuff. The Bluth Brothers Roofing Company, the quote we approved at the last board meeting, they've been over there working as well. They're probably about 50 to 60% done. I think they have about 8 more days when I was talking to them today. They're doing a phenomenal job. It looks really good. It's amazing to see the difference between 30-year-old windows that are falling apart and what it looks like.
You can see it from 30.
You can see it,
Which is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
You notice it from 30.
And I've even had, I mean, you know, I've been at the park forever. A lot of people have been driving by in 30 and texting me when you guys are finally doing something.
Yeah.
Like, people that haven't worked there in 10 years that knew it was bad 10 years ago, like, you guys are finally doing something about it? So everybody's really excited about it. It sounds silly. And Sasha was there today. And yeah, Sasha stopped by that sample. We had Dots flavor. We had Dr. Pepper Dots this year. It's a new flavor. I'll get some.
Did they tell you?
Chris, I just work here. You know, apparently there's a cone of silence over our. There's gonna be Jim Smart, give a cone of silence.
Yeah.
I'll make sure some.
Yes.
What? What?
Meeting.
We can maybe the next board meeting, we'll get some different dots over here.
Probably we even have like a hot dog
Sure.
system.
Hot dog sandwich.
No, I can assure you that has not happened. I will.
Yeah.
Invitation for hot dog sampling. I know you are the connoisseur.
Yeah, but it's just the right thing to do, to get a broad spectrum of opinion.
We have opinion.
Well, I will make sure those happen, and maybe the next meetings here will bring some.
Thanks.
That
Sometimes it's nice to get things done without it.
What happens sometimes.
What happens, we have too many operators in a room. We care about roofs, we get mad about free hot dogs. It's just a disgusting thing.
Yeah. Not much of a life for us, is it?
It's really unbelievable. When you look at our balance sheet, call it what you will, I call it the balance sheet. We don't have any of our tax row yet, but we're in really good shape. Yeah, but we're still doing good.
I would expect taxes to come in.
It would be another couple of weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks this month. And it would, last year in March, we got 1.7 million. Because it's basically the first 3 months.
Yeah.
I'll almost get the parks open.
Yeah, well,
Oh, I
that
think,
goes into
yeah.
107 and,
Yep. So,
and 160.
but even with that, I mean, you look at the numbers, we're not in bad shape.
No, it's good.
So that's great. And because believe me, I can remember many years when we were sitting at this meeting, waiting on the tax monies to come in, you know, having to take loans from ourselves, just.
We already taken a loan when we had to take another one.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Amen.
So, yeah, can't be upset about that. Chris is right, yeah, the mechanics have been busy as the weather changes, which I like to call all these false starts. Get a warm day, try to get outside, the very next day it's 20 degrees and it's snowing. But they've been out, they're getting golf carts ready to go, mowers ready to go, tractors, all the equipment's getting looked at. Our carpenter staff, they've been doing some indoor projects as of late, but those are wrapping up. And as the water park's getting ready to go and a lot of the other facilities, we're we're gonna be seeing those guys out and about a lot more than they have been, although they have been out and about as needed. They never really stopped being outside. And then, at the golf course, I've been talking to Lloyd every now and again, and he is looking forward to a great year this year. You know, they've been running the halfway house and the bar and grill area, and they've been seeing better attendance and better use every year. And they're really encouraged this year because of some of the banquets. They've had a lot of people booking banquets already for the summertime. So he's feeling pretty good about this year coming up, which that encourages me when I hear our people on the ground excited for something. And that was before we talked about, you know, any possibility of a driving range right there too. That would be something else altogether. And then in your packet, you guys will see a memo about upcoming conferences. And it lists what we have coming up, the ones that we traditionally have attended, not in great numbers. Special Park District Forum every now and again, somebody goes. Being out in Portland, I don't know that anybody would attend this year. And then NRPA, which is it's close, or we have something coinciding, we'll go. That's in Philadelphia, so I can't tell my wife because otherwise I'll be drug out there. And Lord knows I don't like doing that. And then the ones that we do tend to attend, the World Water Park Association Conference coming up in October in Las Vegas this year, at the Paris again. Seems to be an every other year thing for us. It's a good venue. And then IPRA in Fort Wayne. And that's a great venue if you're going to go to an IPRA show. That Fort Wayne venue at the Grand Lane Center is pretty good. But anyway, if anybody's interested in going, obviously the budgets are, you guys understand. So it does limit some attendance, but we can always find ways to get people there if we need to. So if anybody's interested in any of these, and it really sticks out to you, let us know, and we'll see what we can do to get folks there. Other than that, I don't really have anything else.
I have nothing. Maybe I'll go to Portland.
You gonna go to Portland?
I don't know. I have family.
Well, that's true. You do have family. Anybody have any questions about anything?
Well, I try to go.
I have to find a bond meeting first so we can.
There are conferences and associations for everything.
There's an association of us.
There's I get to attend the association of associations one time. Gotta tell you, it's you.
Well, yeah, and the people that do it, that's where it is.
Yeah.
The one year there was a group there, the Association of Romance Novel Writers.
Oh, yeah.
And then Paul was explaining, he did a talk one time with the Association of News Camps. And his thing was, can I wear my clothes while I do this? Yeah, you can.
I remember going through our attendee list and thinking, oh my, you know, but it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Any journals?
Because it was a limited edition, no.
We forgetting something?
All right.
No, we can't share it with you.
Thank you.
Then, what's it to adjourn?
Motion.
We are adjourned. 5:20.
And you all have flashlights?
And thank you for flashlight.
Well, we gave it to all of our staff at our staff meeting. Ready to go.